Today I'm trying out 5 different kinds of no-tie shoelaces. Coming right up. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today we've got a product review. You might remember that I did a video on 4 different ways to tie shoes. I discovered I really don't like tying shoes, so I bought shoelaces that are no tie. So let's get started. So the first type of shoelace we're talking about today is by a company called Anan, A-N-A-N. I'm not quite sure. Sorry about the pronunciation. They have a few variations, but essentially you lace up your shoes like normal, you cut off the excess, and then you bind the ends of the shoelace, the cut off ends, with some kind of a clip. So let's take a look at that one. These are elastic no-tie shoelaces for adults, kids, and elderly. First of all, both of these involve flames, and I happen to be afraid of fire. So what could possibly go wrong? But I'm sure it's going to be fine. Okay, I know these are weird shoes. Okay, so I've put in the shoelaces. I have adjusted the tightness. All right, so I'm cutting that. And then I am supposed to burn the ends so there aren't any frayed edges. All right, let's do this. Oh gosh. Okay, place in the metal fitting. It comes with 4 little like bracket thingies and then a bunch of teeny tiny little screws. I can barely see them. I really don't expect to be able to fasten them, but we're going to give it a try anyway. This just goes on here like this. Okay, got that. Now all we have to do is screw them in. Oh gosh. Okay, that worked better than I thought it would. That's shoe number 1. This one has just 2 parts. So these look more like little pills, and they unscrew. And again with the fire. All right, smush these together and screw them closed. Will that work? Yes, it will. How about that? So we've got the silver with the things that are just on the end. They don't actually tie the shoelaces together. The screw is on that side. I don't know if you can see. And then we've got this side. It's got like a little capsule that screws on to the... The second type I'm trying out is by a company called FeetPeople. It's a very simple concept. It's just a very curly shoelace, springy, and that spring kind of holds it in place. You don't tie them or anything. Arrgh. I'm changing shoes. Those are too hard to work with. I have to say, these are adorable. Now, I do wonder whether the curliness of these is going to last. I can see them coming undone. It is very hard to tell if they are the right tightness and not so easy to change it. Okay, so one thing I noticed about these adorable curly cues is when I wore them, because they're kind of all wound up, they cause a big bump inside the shoe. Well, it might not be that big, but to me it was big, and it actually caused some soreness. Now when you pull this out, it may well hurt. It didn't, but it could have. So there's what's left. And if you've ever had a coiled cord on a phone, you know that this will probably never be the same. The third type I'm calling the Bungee. You've probably seen these before, especially on athletic shoes. This is another one where you lace it up like normal and you cut off the ends, and then you use a plastic spring clip to hold it in place. So the first thing I'm doing is threading it through. There's 1, 2. Okay, so far so good, because you don't want all of that stuff dangling everywhere. We burn the ends. I'm an expert at this now. Let's see. Put the ends in like so, and then fold over and snap. So that's it. The nice thing about these is that you can adjust them. So the fourth product is called V-Laces. And these are individual silicone strips that lace through the eyelets and button up. V-Laces lacing system. Looks like they're all pretty much the same length. Kind of squishy and fun to squeeze. So the idea with this one is that you lace them through and then you hook them basically like a button and a buttonhole. So I don't know if you can see that. This little buttony thing just fell off. That would be an issue. So these are stretchy. The ends, you know how in a regular shoelace that end plastic thing is stiff? This is not so stiff, but this soft silicone thing definitely does not help. Basically, tie it like that. I've got it on the tightest, and it's pretty darn loose. And I did it wrong. All right. I hate these shoelaces. I hate these shoelaces. I'm just saying. So maybe I didn't give these silicone things a decent chance. I've changed shoes. All right. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole right here. And I think that's to tuck the loose end into. Yeah, these little holes actually do help quite a lot. So that is considerably better than how it looked on the other shoes. I mean, there's still something of a size issue here. You know, they are pretty big. I don't think this would work on little kids' shoes. Finally, we've got Goodbye Tie, and that's another silicone one. This one is different in that it's just anchors on the end. It doesn't loop all the way through, and there's no buttoning involved. Now, these are silicone, and they have anchors on each one of them. And one of the things that's distinctive about these is that they have different lengths. They're stretchy. And one thing that's interesting about these is that they have ridges so that it looks like an actual shoelace as opposed to just a piece of rubber. Okay, these are also pretty easy to put on. Yeah, these are very easy to put on. Okay, there we go. They do stretch. They look pretty nice. If you're looking for laces for a pair of dress shoes, this is probably the best pick. All right, so here are all 5 types of shoes. Okay, let's start with Anan. The pros, they're pretty sturdy. They use basically just regular stretchy shoelaces. They're fairly attractive, and there are a lot of color choices. In fact, you can use any pair of stretchy shoelaces with these clips and just use the clips. Okay, so for cons, they're not adjustable, first of all. They're difficult to put on, and they're difficult to undo, and they also involve flames. Okay, next up we have the FeetPeople, the curly ones. Pros, they're just adorable. They really are. It's a very simple concept. I like that. They come in fun colors, and it makes a good fidget toy. So if you try them and you don't like them, you've got something to play with. So cons for FeetPeople, well, they're difficult to install. You really have to work at pulling them through. They're unconventional, so if you're looking for something that people won't notice, these are not for you. They're hard to resize. It's hard to tell how tight they are, and it's hard to move them around. And as I discovered, they may cause lumps if you're not careful because the shoelaces are very thick, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, next up, the Bungee laces. So they're very easy to install. They're adjustable, and they come in lots and lots of color choices because there are so many makers of them. For cons, they are very casual. You would not want to put them on dress shoes. They're probably most appropriate for athletic shoes or sneakers. It does involve flames. And there is some question about the durability of the plastic parts. The brand I bought is super, super cheap, but even the higher quality ones, springs break and, you know, plastic parts snap and things like that. Okay, so the V-laces. The V-laces were easy to install once I got the right shoe, right? They're fairly attractive. For cons, though, they're not adjustable. I mean, you can kind of crisscross them, but they're really not adjustable. And since they're quite large and they're all one size, it's probably not going to work for little kids. And then the buttons are actually a separate part. One of them did fall out. Okay, so finally we've got the goodbye tie. And those are the dressy ones. The pros, they're very realistic looking. It's not something you'll notice at all. They're dressy. They have strong anchors. They seem to be in there really good. They are adjustable in that the laces come in different lengths. So if you have a smaller foot, you can lean towards using the smaller ones. And or you can even crisscross them, and I think they're good looking enough that you could pull that off. They're also very, very easy to install. And I only saw one con for this, and that is that there's just not very many colors available. Brown, gray, and black, I think, were the only colors. There are some that are similar that are kind of flat, and there are more makers like that, but they don't look realistic like these do. So to rank them, for my purposes, I would say that would be number 1. This would be number 2. This would be number 3. This would be number 4. And this, I'm sad to say, is number 5, and that is only because of the bumpiness issue. Which one do you think would work for you? Have you tried any of these? Let me know down below. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time.